morning, everybody. It is 8 o'clock and time for us to go ahead and start our first stream. We'll chat on the end of this. If this is your first time here, 25 minutes of writing, 5 minutes of chit chat and sharing how well we did in that sprint. And as always, I'm Jennifer Carlton from the Christianity Writers podcast and glad to have you here with us. So let's get this started. Let me just break in here for a second. And there's a thunderstorm on its way here, it appears, and my internet's already acting wonky. So we'll see how this goes. Done. All right. So seems like there's no storm coming. I'm not upset about that. I'm actually very happy about that. I love me a good thunderstorm, but not when I'm trying to live stream, right? Getting my stuff all ready here. Good morning, BDZ. Glad to have you here. What are you working on today? What'd you get accomplished during that time? I worked on business stuff because went to write and I had to update, not have to, but the brand new Scrivener already has an update out. And so I did the update. And while that was all happening, I started doing a couple business things. So I'm gonna get those out of the way, things for the podcast, and then I don't have to worry about them again until next week. So that's what I'm gonna do. So, yep, it's supposed to have thunderstorms at 9 a.m. It's saying. Let's look at the radar. Let's just take a little peek at the radar coming in. Oh, not bad. I mean, all right, so you can see there are thunderstorms, but I'm the blue dot. So I think that we're going to miss the majority of it. So that's awesome. That's good news. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Melody. So good to see you. All right, what's everyone working on? We got a couple more minutes to talk before we move into the next sprint. I want to know what you guys are actively doing. I am literally taking images that I've already created and dragging them up into the Google Docs, Google Drive folder for this Friday's episode so that the ladies that do other things for the episode can have access to them. And then after that, I am jumping into book 4. I have edited 2 chapters so far of 32, and I'm just going to start plugging along on that today. That's what I'm working on. So what are you guys doing? Writing, editing, drinking coffee. I got my coffee for sure. Oh, mercy. So tired. It feels like a Monday to me. I did not sleep well last night. My husband leaves for work at 4:35 in the morning. I slept so good after that. I think he's my problem. And you can totally tell him I said that, but yeah, I felt so hard asleep. And then when I woke up at my normal time, like I just didn't want to get out of bed. I just been moving very slowly today. So my motivation in a cup is definitely going to be helping me out today. 2 more minutes until we start the next sprint. All right, so I got the correct link in there today for moving the stream. I think that I'm going to go ahead and completely move it on Monday. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, I'm going to have you do that because Monday when I did this and I was going between both channels, excuse me, poor Piper was over on my channel chatting away and couldn't see what anyone else was saying, so she came back over here. So, just to streamline things, I think we'll go ahead and make the move, and then I'll put some sort of, like, fake broadcast up on here telling everybody, "Hey, we've moved," and having the link so we don't lose out on anybody. I'll do that for a couple weeks because we don't wanna lose anyone. Melody says, "I'm writing, working hard to finish my next cowboy romance." I love me a good cowboy. Mhm. When, the weather everything kinda breaks around here, we're gonna get riding lessons for my girls because my husband was raised with horses, I was raised with horses. My grandpa owned a farm, a horse farm, and he raised Morgans, and we just all of a sudden realized our girls had never been on a horse, and we have a 15-year-old, like, and our older kids are already grown and out, my stepkids. So, like, we're gonna remedy that because we don't see us ever owning horses, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work, but, and we maybe when we retire, we will, but, or I'm never retiring. But when he retires and can do all that labor, awesome. So, yeah, but I love a good cowboy. Alright, 1 more minute. We're missing some people this morning. I know, obviously, the obvious one is Jamie. Jamie's not here. She already messaged that they're down 1 computer, so her daughter's using her computer right now, so I don't know, poor thing. I can't imagine. I mean, I can. We just bought laptops for 2 of my daughters for Christmas this year. My other daughter had gotten one the year before for Christmas. It's hard when you gotta share a computer, especially with kids at home working on schoolwork, it's hard. Teresa says, "I'm fighting with formatting a newsletter in Word for work." Ugh, yuck. Piper had an eye appointment. Oh, okay, good to know. Isn't if we're gonna start treating Piper like we did Jason. Remember when Jason was coming and then he stopped coming, and so we started talking about him? If I was friends with him, like Jamie has met him outside of the podcast, and so she can harass him. I can't, but if I knew him, because he has such a great personality and is easily harassed and doesn't get offended, I would probably like harass him even more. Maybe even send him screenshots of us harassing him. Who knows? All right, it's time for us to get into the next sprint. Again, 25 minutes. We'll chat on the other end. Oh, I was not prepared today. I just had to count that one down because when we went to start the last sprint, I realized I don't know where my phone is. It was upstairs somewhere. There it is. There's the timer. But you guys know how I get. Sometimes I completely forget. Because if you watch this, you will actually see me jump about 70% of the time that we do this. I'm not paying attention. So here we go. And this is probably turned all the way down. It is. 1. Go. Done. Oh, that was productive. How'd you guys all do? I'm gonna stand up. Okay, I keep forgetting to make you guys do this. So part of the science behind the Pomodoro, and if you can research it if you want, you could also, I keep forgetting to grab mine where I can have it handy. The ladies and I wrote a workbook about sprinting that I have a whole chapter that I talk about the Pomodoro method and why it's important. But anyways, part of the science behind it that makes it so good is that you do take 5-minute breaks and you move around because as writers, it's so important for us to not sit all day long. And I sit way, way too much. So I'm hoping when we get the house remodeled and the basement is finished, like my office is finished and the girls' playroom is finished, but the rest of the basement is still like just studs and storage right now. I want to get a treadmill and set up a walking desk. If you've never seen one of those, just Google it. But like where I could slowly kind of be moving. I don't know if I'll be able to do it while I'm writing creatively, but for sure when I'm doing like business stuff, I could for sure be moving slowly. So, all right, 3 more minutes and we start the next one. Gosh, did I just babble for 2 minutes? I mean, not that I'm that shocked, but I just didn't feel like it today. Oh, let's see. What am I working on? Still podcast stuff. I know. So in our last meeting, I know I'm supposed to be writing and I'm ready to get back to my writing, but in our last meeting, um, it was discussed that I'm going to be gone for my stepson's wedding. And so they when I'm gone, they can handle everything themselves, but like it'd be better if I had like a whole kind of written out thing. Here's everything I do for the week. And it's exhausting me just writing it out. Sometimes you just do things, right? When you have a job, you just kind of do things, you don't think about it all, but it's good to do this. So then it's helped me remember like, oh, I didn't do that yet this week. So I'm doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, what are you guys working on? It's very silent in the chat today. It's probably also a delay. I hate how there's a delay on this, but it's really the only way I know how to do it. I don't have a whole lot to talk about today. Oh, I don't know if I can tell this or not, but I'm going to. I got the first part of the novel that Jamie's working on. And I got to start reading it. Oh, you guys are gonna love it. You're gonna love it. I am designing her book cover, and so she wanted to let me see inside of it so that I felt that I really knew that the cover was on point. The one I'm working on, she feels like it's on point, but it's so exciting. Hello, I'm just gonna call you SM because I'm assuming that Ashwin is your last name. So good morning. Thanks for joining us here today. What other exciting things? This week on the podcast, we're talking about shiny new things. Be a very interesting conversation. Teresa says, I figured out the delay is actually YouTube streaming 45 seconds behind me when I'm live. Yeah, so like it's the time period of me streaming out there and then you guys seeing me a little bit later than I'm actually saying it. And then you typing it in and it's still a little bit of a delay for that to get to me. So because I think that when you guys, because I'm not actually looking at your comments on YouTube, I'm actually in StreamYard. And I think that there's a little bit of a delay there too. So that makes it a little bit hard, but usually I just talk and fill the time. Teresa says, still fighting with Microsoft. With Microsoft Word, like you're having problems with it? Oh, because you're doing that newsletter. Does it have to be done in Microsoft? Of course, I would choose if it wasn't a newsletter, like an email newsletter aggregator, I would choose Microsoft anyway. That's just kind of where my comfort zone is, but that stinks. What's everyone else working on? Oh gosh, it's 9 o'clock already. See, I can babble on for no apparent topic or reason. All right, 2 more sprints to go and we're going to call it good. So if you're here, then pat yourself on the back because a lot of people aren't up working yet and writing. Go. 3, 2, 1, done. Didn't that seem like a really long sprint? I kept looking to make sure that my timer was still going because, like, I felt like I was getting a ton done. So, yes. Yeah, still working on stuff. I'm getting a ton done. So, what are you guys working on right now? I am finishing up the project that I was doing for the podcast, and I'm thinking about my book that I'm, like, going back into. I'm having a hard time getting Jamie's book out of my head too, like, I wanna just keep reading it, but I gotta focus on my stuff first, so yep, that's it. Let's see. I started to tell you guys this week we're talking about shiny new things. There's been a lot of chat happening all over the writer world about Vella, and we're not going to speak well, I guess we'll speak a little bit specifically about Vella, but we're really kinda talking about when do you know if it's a shiny new thing that's distracting you or when it is something that you should pivot and start focusing on? So, that's what this week's podcast is gonna be about. SM says, "Starting a new project, it's a fantasy romance." Ooh, I write romance too, Christian romance, so that's very exciting. Love me a good romance. My project is, it's already written, it's a book 4 of my series, and, like, I'm going in and editing it, and it's such a dream. If you've been here for any length of time, you know that, like, I struggled with book 3. Such a hard edit, and this one is just like, "Oh, I missed a comma there." Like, I don't hate it. Now, maybe when it gets to the editor, they'll be like, "Oh, no, there's a lot that needs to be changed," but, like, I'm trying to, like, stop and marinate at certain places because it's kinda on the short side too. But I also don't wanna, like, belabor points that don't need to be belabored, right? So, Teresa says, "That is exactly the struggle I was dealing with last week." Exclamation point. Um, I was babbling. I'm not really sure what you were agreeing with or what your struggle was last week, Teresa. I'm sorry. See, this is bad when it's just me on here chatting because I can just go on, and then I forget what I was even talking about. But oh, the shiny new thing. I bet you that was it. So yes, shiny new things. Um, this is Teresa. You're the reason why we did this podcast. This is all because of you, sweetheart, because, and I was gonna reach out to you and talk to you. I thought, "You know what? Let's do a podcast and let's see if we can help." I'm sorry, my hair is a mess today. See if we can help more people out. But yes, because it is sometimes it is good to be looking at what's going on in our field. I think it's always good to kinda have a feel for it, but also, how do you know when it's, like, just distracting you and you shouldn't be doing it? She said, "The subject for this week's podcast, I feel like the project leads to being a serial, like it would be perfect for that multi-point of view." That's kinda cool. So, that's good perspective to bring to the podcast this week as we talk about this, Teresa, because you might be a candidate for someone who should be looking at Vella, where someone like, let's say, like Tina, who loves to learn new things, and when all there's always something new, then that keeps her energized, but it doesn't necessarily move her career forward. So, anyways, I don't wanna give away too much, but, we're gonna be talking about that this week, so you wanna tune in at 10 AM Eastern Time on the Christianity Writers Podcast. Teresa says, "But I really don't want to do a Vella, so I've just tabled it for now while I try to figure it out." That is probably a good choice, and we're gonna talk about how to know when to do that. So, all right. Ow, I just pulled my own hair. It's 9:30. This is our last sprint. You've been here the whole time, then you have been, getting a lot done. I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of myself for showing up today because my bed felt really, really good today, but here we are. All right, one more sprint, we'll talk at the end of this one.
3, 2, 1, go.
Done. Whew. 2 hours, ladies and gentlemen. That is totally, totally awesome. Teresa says my bed felt really good today too. At 5:15, I was really wishing I could just call off, but sucked it up. And the minute one person showed up, it was worth it for me to be there. I was ready to go. That is exactly how I feel, Teresa. Exactly how I feel. Excuse me. Because you guys make me come here and I get work done. Now you're gonna be mad at me, maybe, because I didn't get any writing done today. I was so ready to get writing done. But I started working on podcast stuff and it took me 2 hours. It took me 2 hours to do podcast stuff, but I just finished. Like I feel good walking away from podcast stuff. Well, until Friday when I have to actually do the podcast. But like I'm good. So I'll try to fit writing in later. But I just got a call from my dad and he wants to go to lunch with me and the girls. So Michigan is it's kind of open, but to like 50% capacity. And so there's a restaurant that my mother, and I mentioned this before, she's got dementia. There's a restaurant my mother loves, and we're gonna go there as soon as they open. So excited about that. It'll be a fun day. So I hope you guys get lots of writing done. I hope, or business stuff, as long as you're advancing your career, which I feel like I did that today. So I'm not gonna beat myself up. It really isn't about beating myself up today. It's about the fact that I really want to get back into my story. So I'm a little disappointed in that. And hopefully I will find some time later on today, but we shall see. We shall see. So I hope you guys have a great day and I will see you Friday morning. I don't do this on Thursdays. Don't forget that. Friday morning at 10 a.m. on the Christian Indie Writers podcast. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook too, but most people go to YouTube for the live chat. That's where the fun is in there. And then, like I said, on Monday morning, it will be on my channel. So if you haven't subscribed to that yet, you need to do that. The link is in the description of this. I have it correct this time. It's in the link to the description of this writing sprint. And we'll start over there with the chatting tomorrow. Melody says, I was happy to join you all. You all motivate me to write. Same here, Melody. We're so glad to have you. But I honestly, like, I get so much done, so much more done because you guys show up. So I really appreciate you all. All right. See you all on Friday. Hope you have great writing for the next couple days. Until then, we'll see you later.